So, Sal, firstly, I mean, why do the Aparthotel rooms appeal to guests themselves?
So I just touched on it then in the intro, but it is all about having those little extra bits in your room, like the kitchenette setups. You've got a fridge under the counters, you've got your air fryer, microwave,
Yeah.
toaster. You know, they can really make their meals in their room, whereas you couldn't do that in a
No.
normal hotel room.
I think it gives a good mix as well, doesn't it? Of normally, if you come to a hotel, obviously you go, you eat out, or you eat in the
Yeah,
hotel room. And we're not saying that the people won't do that come
yeah,
to here, but it gives you that choice. You know,
yeah.
that week that you may be working for whatever reason in these sort of rooms, you can have a couple of days where you might eat out,
Yeah.
but equally you can cook for yourselves
Yeah,
in
and I
there.
think it's like with, breakfast, for instance. You can wake up, make your breakfast. You don't then have to
Mhm.
go out searching of
Yeah,
where you're going to eat your breakfast and things like that. And then it
exactly. Yeah,
could just be you pop back,
yeah,
you can make a quick sandwich or something like that at lunchtime, and then it may just be your evening meal you might want to eat out. I think as well for employers who are sending workers to work away from home, it's a lot more cost effective for them as well
yeah,
because they don't have to give a food allowance. There is facilities here to be able to make a meal.
yeah. Which is good because I mean it means they then can spend a little bit more on the
Yeah,
better hotel
yeah,
rooms with it because, like you say, the money's going towards that rather
yeah,
than a food voucher with it. And I think the actual employees as well would
yeah.
prefer it. You know, as I say themselves. You know,
I
um,
think so. There's a fridge in there that they can stock
yeah,
with their favourite snacks and
yeah,
things like that. Whereas in a hotel room, you tend to only get those smaller
yeah,
fridges and things like that. And then there's nowhere to store them. Whereas here, you've got shelves, you've got
yeah.
cupboards, things like that.
100%. The other big benefit I think for guests is the flexibility. So when I say about flexibility, if you think of a normal hotel, normally there's sort of check-in times in there that you've
Yeah,
got to stick to and stuff like that. Whereas with these, they fall more into kind of the service department
yeah,
feel. If you think of that, you know, self check-in boxes, that sort of thing.
yeah,
So especially for workers, if they're coming to a particular site, they might be late back. They don't need to worry of
yeah.
have I got to get there
Yeah,
in
they've
time.
already pre-checked in online, so all
Yeah,
that's sorted. They will have their arrival details um, on their phone to hand when they arrive, and they can just let themselves in.
yeah,
They don't have to deal with anyone when they get here because, as you
mhm,
can imagine, after a long day of work, the last thing you probably want to do is
yeah.
then speak to anyone. You probably just want to come straight to bed.
That's it. But then equally, they, you know, they haven't got a huge, you know, apartment that they're staying in. If you
Yeah,
think of a normal sort of service apartment with it, and they're really we put a lot of effort into the actual space, don't we, of
yeah,
these hotel rooms? So we work with specialist furniture providers that you wouldn't believe how you look into a room before it's furnished. You think, crikey, that's small,
yeah,
does it? And then they come in the furniture experts and they'll put little things like we have drop down tables
yeah,
on walls, stuff like that.
yeah,
And it's great, you know, it's great, and we'll touch on for investors further down the line of cost effective that way. But it's also good for guests as
for
well. It gives them
guests.
that
Yeah,
extra bit of
yeah,
space, doesn't it,
definitely,
from it?
definitely.
I think one of the other benefits, Sal, as well, when it
Yeah,
comes to apart hotels, is their actual locations
yeah,
that they're in. We mentioned at the start when we were saying, you know, what is an apart hotel? A lot of them are existing guest
yeah.
houses or hotels that have been here for a number of years, and there's a reason that
That they've
they've
done
chosen
so
these
well, and
locations.
you see them usually either central locations
Yeah,
or like here in Morecambe, coastal
yeah.
locations that attract tourism as well all year round.
And there's always got to be a reason for it there. Like you say, it could be that there's a particular, you know, workstation, work area where there's a lot of corporate guests that you need hotel for
Yeah,
that. It could be more of a leisure destination. Like you say, we're in Morecambe at the moment. You get a lot of tourists that come and
yeah,
visit here. You've got the exciting Eden project that
yeah,
they're working on, which gives a blend really, because obviously as they're working on the project, you're going to get the corporate guests, but then in the future, once it's all built, you're
you'll
going to get
then
the
start
tourists
seeing the tourist
with
guests.
it. Yeah. So, you know, more often than not, there's always a reason why a hotel has been placed in a
Yeah.
particular location, and that's another big reason why they appeal to guests as well.